Some pretty disastrous news coming out of Edinburgh just now. The Edinburgh Harley Davidson shop is going to be, or dealership, I should say, is going to be closing down. An email was sent out yesterday saying, as business update, dear customers, writing to let you know that we've had to make the difficult decision to conclude our franchise agreement with Harley Davidson at the end of April 2025. So this is, what's like January, February, March, April, only like 2-3 months until this building, this dealership, is closed. And with that comes with the Kawasaki dealership next door as well. So the Kawasaki and Harley Davidson use the same, roughly the same premises, and they have the same kind of parking lot, working yard, where the guys that are working on all the bikes and stuff going on there, and they share a lot of the accounts and stuff in the background. So this is a major shock to the Edinburgh, in fact Scotland's biking landscape just now. Earlier this year, or last year, I showed you a video of Saltaire motorcycles closing down. And they were big for Indian and KTM and Mutt and Royal Enfield and Husqvarna. And now we've got Harley Davidson and Kawasaki. Now these are... this company is owned by the Eastern Western Motor Group, I think is what it is. So they've got a whole pile of car dealerships as well. And they pretty much own half of all of Edinburgh's car dealerships, it seems like. And it must just be the case that the motorcycle businesses just aren't making enough profit, so they're just going to axe them. So the question is whether this is going to mean that Harley Davidson is gone completely. Will there be a smaller upstart version of it? What I have heard from rumours in the background is that part of the issues certainly with Harley Davidson, is the sheer amount of costs that Harley Davidson was imposing on the dealerships themselves to to keep up the brand image. So now they're asking the dealerships to, okay, hey, we want you to spend X amounts of tens of thousands of pounds, upgrading the signage or changing the floor layout or making a bigger advert here or this and that, and the cost of that was being put on the dealership. Now that it might just be hearsay, but that's what I have heard, and that was one of the things that they're just kind of like, they're wanting us to spend tens of thousands of pounds upgrading our offices or buildings or all that kind of stuff. And there's like, so maybe that's what the case is not necessarily that the business isn't making a whole pile of money, but that the actual company of Harley Davidson is requesting too much input or investment from the dealerships themselves. So maybe that's why East and Western Group have just said, right, stuff it, we're going to close you down. Kawasaki, I don't know what the rules are, or haven't heard the same kind of situations behind their finances going on there, but because they're jointly owned, or they're both in the same building, both by the same grand owner, as it were, it may be just a case of they're just like, well, nah, we're not making any profit from it, we've got all these liabilities, might as well just pack it in and see it off, because maybe they're just not forecasting better sales coming on. What this also means is, so that means another dealership closing. That means what it means is Kawasaki and Harley Davidson dealerships closing. That means more merchandise just disappearing. That means test rides disappearing. That means it was a place where you got your bike MOT'd. Maybe not MOT, but if you're a Harley Davidson owner in Edinburgh or around Edinburgh, you're now probably, there is a Harley Davidson in Glasgow, West Coast Harley Davidson. You could go there. Kawasaki, I don't know where. Oh, Kawasaki's got one over in Kirkcaldy. So that's only about a 25-mile trip away from here. So there are other options near about, but it's obviously, I think also that what they're saying is the Dunedin chapter of, so in Harley Davidson they talk about their chapters, which is like their groups. Dunedin group, now that they don't have their own specific dealership, they don't have a meetup place or anything like that, what is going to happen? Will it be taken over by us? And this, what I'm saying is that I don't think this is something that will be taken over by a smaller independent shop. Like how Mutt and CF Moto have moved to Cowshed Motorcycles in Edinburgh, a smaller independent family-run business. I can't see Harley Davidson saying, "All right, we'll just go to another small independent," because they're like, "No, we want tens of thousands spent on our signage. We need our signage to be 5 meters above the ground so everyone can see it from that distance. We need extra lights on during the weekend when we're closed so the office still looks awesome." Blah blah blah. That I don't see any small independent taking this over. So I just see this as it's gone. Unless another. So the Dunedin, that's between Dundee and Edinburgh, maybe they'll open up something up in Dundee, but at the moment there seems to be nothing going on. If you've got a Harley Davidson, it might be a good idea to get this in for a service, because you might struggle to get it in for a service in the future. Or well, actually, that might not be true, because you could probably just get it serviced over at Harley Davidson over in West Coast Customs. But keep your eyes and ears peeled for any announcements from over there. The general discussion online from people have been that is just saying Harley Davidson have shot themselves in the foot. The cost that of their bikes are not getting very many sales. The aftercare service, I haven't heard anything bad about the aftercare service, but everyone just say, "Oh, the servicing costs are really high. You can get it done for half the price somewhere else." You get that with everywhere, really. If you go to a dealership servicing, it's always going to be a bit more expensive because you're getting that stamp in the book. So I don't know if that's really a valid criticism here, but I do think that the sheer costs of the bikes, not having any smaller displacement, more entry level bikes like the Street Rod, or the 833, something like that, or the 48. They haven't had any of those in the shops for a long time, so it's been a bit of a bummer there. If I go to the Harley Davidson website, they're about £45,000, 24,000, 24,000, 24,000, 24,000, 20, 19, 19. It's all very expensive bikes, and that's 18 for what is 2 years out of date now, 3,000 miles. 80. So it takes, you're scrolling all the way down for a long way into still not getting anything below 10 grand. Okay, there's the first one. A Nightster for under 10 grand. Nightster, Sportster S. So yeah, just the newest ones are the only ones that are under 10 grand. But yeah, everything's looking pretty steep in price. Fat Bob. Oh, there's a Fat Bob. Oh, dude, I love a Fat Bob for 11.5. Oh, I like that. But so and additionally with that, so I'm go. Oh, a Fat Bob. That's a good price. I like that. I don't have any confidence that there's still going to be a Harley Davidson anywhere in the future. So I don't see me ever putting in an order there. So yeah, that closing down, I think their sales will completely dry up over the next couple of months. I don't think anybody's, because this notice has come out, I don't think anybody's going to be buying a bike anytime soon. And their service department will be probably getting overrun. The mechanics will probably be getting a lot of work, I suspect, because Harley Davidson tools and all that kind of stuff are vastly different from the metric tools that they use and everything else. So the Harley Davidson workmen, I'm sure, will get all the work that they need anywhere there. But yeah, it just seems like it's a company which once again hasn't helped the dealership, caused potential additional costs to a dealership that weren't bringing in. They're asking all this money to upgrade, but it wasn't backed by Harley Davidson specifically, and there was no obvious generating of income with all the requests that was being done. Again, that is just what I've been hearing. That might be nonsense going on there. But yeah, so if you're looking at Harley Davidson, Edinburgh and the Dunedin chapter, it looks like it's going to be no more as of April 2025. And it also says all planned events for Dunedin chapter in 2025 will go ahead, including Thunder in the Glens. So they're saying that will still go ahead. That's what they're saying at the moment. We'll have to see how that actually looks out in the future. So if you're thinking of going to Thunder in the Glens, which is a big kind of rally where everyone takes their Harley Davidson up to Aviemore and they go for a trip through some of the area of the Aviemore, Cairngorm countryside, hillside, then that doesn't seem to be happening. And that had, the Thunder in the Glens had quite a few different. So that also had the guys from Saltire there. They had other stuff going on. So yeah, it's really a bit of a depressing year. 2025 is going to be another quiet year for bike sales. In Edinburgh at the moment, we've still got a BMW, definitely. We've got CF Moto, which will probably do well because they're giving out the cheaper bikes. And we have got Triumph and Honda. So fingers crossed Triumph and Honda survive this year. I suspect Honda will do well with their CB1000 Hornet. That'll probably keep them in sales for a good while. And Triumph are bringing out lots of new bikes all the time. So fingers crossed that we still have some form of dealerships in the capital city of Scotland going forward. But yeah, sad news, very sad news for Edinburgh Harley Davidson.